This is Jane Eyre Magnet for Stone Monkey Radio. The following is a work of comedic fiction designed for entertainment, just like all of Stone Monkey Radio. Don't take it seriously, we don't want you getting hurt. Some listeners may find this disturbing, you have been warned. With that in mind, on with the show. And welcome to the 8th guided experience, brought to you on behalf of the program. By now you...
Nothing.
We're going to get them out of there. What they're doing is barbaric.
Those nun creatures are monsters, and we need to stop them. They're no better than the Yellow Eyes.
I've tried my best from inside. I think Elkins is getting suspicious though. It took a huge effort to get me in there. I don't want to jeopardize all that before we've actually managed to do some good.
I worry that we're running out of time though. The Raven is nearly finished. I don't even know what that means, but if those people want it, I can only imagine that it's really fucking dangerous. Take this. It's another modified iskru and some sugar tablets designed to look like concurrence meds.
Right.
We'll see you at the next location in 2 weeks. Stay safe in there.
1. You are nothing. You are the void. Now, you wake to find yourself in what smells like an abattoir. The soil floor is covered with straw and blood and chunks of moulding viscera. The stench of death assaults your nostrils and leaves your bleary eyes stinging. The room feels massive, with ceilings so high they seem to vanish into the dark. Rough straw makes you itch, and you feel something cold and slimy somewhere underneath your shoulder. You feel small and helpless. A fleshy, pulsating tube protrudes from your belly and leads to the underside of a large creature with matted, bloody fur. It appears mangy in places and has necrotic wounds where its legs have been roughly removed. Maggots writhe and undulate in the dead flesh. You hear the sounds of stumbling footsteps and a strange, familiar humming. Above you, a nun in an immaculately clean habit looms into view. She reaches down and grasps the cord connected to your belly, and with her other hand, she saws at it with her rusty implement. She lifts you up from the floor, and you feel something moist peeling off your back and drop. Her bright yellow eyes seem to burn into you, making you feel like she can see your very thoughts. Her sharply clawed fingers poke into your tender, diminutive form. You are utterly helpless in her grasp. After a few moments of considering you, she carries you off to a metal table in an adjoining room and lays you down. You cannot seem to control your limbs sufficiently to turn over or escape. The nun breathes out a ragged breath and begins sawing off your legs. Feel the agony as the teeth of the saw cut into your tender skin, hack roughly through your muscles, and now into the bone. The sound is amplified through your skeleton and drives deep into your head, out the other side of the bone. Another layer of muscle and skin, you screaming in agony as she tosses your detached limb onto the table next to you and begins sawing through your other leg. Feel every stroke of the saw digging deeper through you, the sound of your meat being butchered. See the spray of blood dirtying the nun's habit. Her butchery done, her lips peel strangely apart into what may be some sort of smile. Her yellow eyes seem almost to glow as she tosses your other leg next to you on the table. You scream and cry and wail and beg your suffering to stop. Still she fixes you with those unearthly eyes. Still that hideous gurning smile shows brown-grey teeth set in grey gums. She takes up a needle and thread and hums a repeating tune as she sews up your wounds. Once your leg wounds have been sewn shut, she leans over you. Her face looms large. She makes a choking coughing sound. A yellow maggot appears in her right nostril. It climbs out of her and drops onto your face, where it starts to make its way towards your eye. Between your desperate blinking and flailing of arms that won't quite obey you, it undulates into the corner of your eye by your nose, and you feel it make its way behind your eye and start to follow the optic nerve towards your brain. You blink towards your brain, as suddenly that eye goes black and your sight is lost towards your brain. Then you feel a greater, rising panic as you wonder what other part of what is you will be stolen by this purposeful larvae towards your brain. The nun takes up a needle and thread again and starts to sew your eyelids shut. You suddenly feel cold and clammy and a desperate aching hunger. You crave some sustenance, you know not what. With both eyes sealed shut, you feel yourself lifted up again. You should be in agony from having your legs removed and your eyes sewn shut. However, the desperate hunger is all you know. You are an empty void. You shiver and shake. The hunger is everything. Finally, you are set down and past a fleshy, rubbery tube with a hole in the side, leaking something with a sulphurous odour. You suckle hungrily at the tube and the lumpy, acid slurry feels wonderful inside. Something inside your head buzzes warmly and happily, blocking out the sound of screaming above you and the creak of rusty chains. This concludes the 8th guided experience brought to you on behalf of the program. Please now take your additional dose of concurrence medication and press the orange button. Your amelioration technician will be along shortly. This has been a recording for Stone Monkey Radio. Stone Monkey Radio is written and created by Jane Eris Magnet. Join me on YouTube as Maniac Janiac, on Twitter as @ManiacJaniac, and SoundCloud.com as Jane Eris Magnet. It can also be found on stonemonkeyradio.wordpress.com. Thank you for joining us. Join us again sometime, when I'll hack off your limbs, cough up a brain maggot, which will blind you and eat your mind.